Welcome to DCL Radio Show. As part of my DCL friends, I have brought in two great guys to the show. They were once bitter rivals, as I said. I always use this bitter because I have seen how fiercely these guys were on the field, and now they are one of the close buddies in DCL. If I have to talk about these two guys, I have to start with GLCC captain Samish Kilam. Probably he's one of the best thinking captains DCL ever had. I'll say this one because I have seen him very closely, and I know in and out about my own team, and we don't have any stars. That's what I'll say, and at least until the entry of the Ajit Singh, we haven't seen really, so-called star in our team. So he has to work with all the limitations that we have. Example, me, take us to the top level. When I say top level, most probably, in 2 decades of GLCC, we have made it to playoffs almost 16 years, I guess, and we missed a couple of years, I guess, playoffs. Otherwise, GLCC has been doing great, and it won 4 championships overall. GLCC has won, okay, with all the kind of limitations we have. On the other side, I have another guy, Jeet Singh. He is, if I have to say in one word, there's a television ad back in India. There used to be, I don't know whether it is now. Owner's pride, neighbor's envy. That kind of guy. He played with Megabytes, and he also won 4 championships. And every time he takes the ball, a wicket is guaranteed. The best part of Megabytes is full of stars. So when you talk about Megabytes bowling, you have Raghutadi, Singh,
Gautam, Vinod.
See, there are several. Out of all these, when this guy Jeet Singh, he takes the ball, a wicket is guaranteed. Okay, and on top of it, he used to be the darling of media in those days. And when I say media, definitely. Okay, why is because he gets all the attention in the world, and that takes away pressure from all other bowlers and who can play without any fear. I welcome both of these guys. I'll start with Samish. Welcome, Samish. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jagan. Welcome, Jeet. And you said it right, Jagan. He was one bowler you could call destructive. And it was pleasure playing against him, and now it's pleasure playing with him.
Okay, welcome to the show, Jeet.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, again, as I said, I think I get too much credit. It's never one guy. It's people who came before me and bowled and set up the platform for me. You come and bowl, and you are 60 runs in 10 overs. No matter how good you are, you're gonna get hit. You come and bowl, and it's only 20 runs in 10 overs. No matter how bad you are, you will succeed. So it's you bowl as a group, and that's why you're successful. So it's as simple as that. I just happened to bowl at a time when you can be aggressive. People like Gautam, people like Vinod, people like Ranga, people like Raghu set it up. So, and we bowled as a pair. So I think that's what made Megabyte attack, that we always hunted in a pack, right? We literally hunted in a pack. But anyway.
Before even I start, I want to ask a simple question. Who was your best rival in those days?
To be very honest, Megabyte, especially first 3-4 years, we won pretty much against everybody, but we always lost against GLCC. So rivalry with GLCC was always special. And it's interesting, right? Because we also played with a lot of folks at GLCC. So when we talk about rivalry, it was not a disrespectful rivalry. It was literally, that was like how we tested ourselves. Like, I mean, because most of everybody in GLCC at that time also will give their 100%. So they will fight till the last ball, and that's how you tested, and that's how you knew you were good enough or not. So I think rivalry with GLCC was special. I think it got best out of everybody. But again, I do want to make sure, and you people understand, rivalry does not mean you disrespect. I think there's a lot of mutual respect, and we played in other leagues with each other all the time. So.
Okay, let me ask the same question with Samish. Samish, who's your best rival in all these years?
I would say Megabytes used to get best out of us because um, on both sides it was a high intensity game. And again, we have had some tough games with them. Um, Initially, until 2010, we probably had a better record with them against them, but their games were never easy to win. But I'll also say that um, Brownstown was another team that had our number in playoffs. So when I think initially when we played Megabytes, we usually won in playoffs. Somehow we scraped through those games, but we couldn't do the same thing with Brownstown until 2010 when Megabytes just bulldozed every other team for 4 or 5 years. Until then, it was both Megabytes and Brownstown that were probably biggest rivals for us.
Okay, now let's get into the original thing. Before I start asking about your personal side of the story tonight, text by Abhi. Abhi is saying that he's asking a question to Ajit Jai Singh, and he thinks Ajit paid me so that I'm calling him. Okay, and okay, let's get into Samish. Tell me about your yourself and your family and where you from. And
I was born in Kashmir, Srinagar, Kashmir, and I lived there till I was 14, and then I moved to Bangalore, and I did my schooling and engineering in Bangalore, and I must say those were probably the best days of my life growing up. And then I got a job, moved to United States. I moved straight to Michigan, and first 2 3 years I didn't have any cricket. But luckily, I moved to Farmington Hills, and that's when I found you guys, GLCC group. I think it was you, Vijay Namburi, Srini, and that's when I started playing cricket here. Yeah, that's about it.
hey, Jeet.
All right. So my story is a little bit different. Born in Delhi, moved here when I was 21 for MBA at Eastern Michigan. Um, so the day I landed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Somebody at 4 o'clock they told me they have a cricket going on at 7 or 8 at night. We used to play they used to play in the lights. It was Thursday night. I went and played, and this guy Sashi, he's like, "Man, can you come and play with us?" Actually, this was Friday night. Like, can you come and play with us? There's a game tomorrow next morning. That was a DCL game. I had no idea what DCL was. So I land on Friday, 2 o'clock, and next morning at Saturday, 9 a.m., I'm playing a game in DCL. So that was my introduction to DCL. But overall, yes, I'm married. Moved here when I was 21. Lived in Delhi pretty much all my life. Moved from Michigan to Chicago in 2008. But I actually still played a couple of years till 2011 with Megabytes, and I traveled back and forth. And then I came and played a couple of games for GLCC, by the way. I think 1 year I played enough games to qualify for playoffs, but unfortunately I couldn't make it to the playoff games. But I've played a couple of games for GLCC folks since then. So, but that's my introduction. Came to US, and first day itself I started with DCL pretty much.
Okay. Now my second question is I'm going to ask Samish. Samish, you played almost close to 2 decades. If I ask you 5 best moments in DCL, which are those?
5 best moments. Well, 4 of those easily will be the championships that we have won. Those were special, especially in 2003 when we won our first championship.
Don't remind me of that.
No, that was 2004, Jeet.
4, oh, sorry.
So 2003, we were a new team, and I still remember Ashraf. He walked into the park and he asked if he could practice with us, and we saw him bat, and right away he became one of the top batsmen. It was special because we were a new team and nobody expected us to win. And we chased 117 odd runs in finals to win that game. And then the year after, we beat Megabytes, and that I won't talk much about. It was a one-run win.
Yeah, so imagine that though. Final game and a 70, like a one-run win. It was that close, and nobody wanted to give up. So
Yeah.
I can still play most of that game with my eyes closed, and I can still see play by play. It was that good a game.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
we lost.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, Jeet. You guys beat us. You bundled us for 37 odd runs in the league game.
Very second.
Yeah.
that year.
So yeah. By the way, that was a good game too, because I think we got all out for 30-41 or something, and we got you for 35 or 37. Or something like that, right?
I think you guys chased and you lost 6 wickets or something, if I remember right.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
Binod was rookie that year, if I
yeah,
remember.
oh my gosh, what a
Yeah.
baller! Yep.
Yeah.
And he's still the same.
Yeah.
And then again, I think another one was it was again Brownstown we beat, and then last championship. Sorry, it was Megabytes, the second finals as well. And last championship, that was very sweet because again, it was the same thing. Nobody thought we'd even make it to playoffs, and we kept winning. And every week, you would hear people say that, okay, this will be the GLCC's last game. But we had some special players. Bala did some amazing stuff. Ajit did amazing stuff. Davani, our Akash Patel. I mean, just to name a few, everybody chipped in, even Roshan, Nalin, every single person chipped in, and that's the only way we can win if everybody chips in our team. Otherwise, we have no chance. So those were some special moments, and I guess one more last one would be, which nobody expects me to say, when I won the batting title in the league. That's probably the special moment as well.
Oh, that happened. I don't even remember that. Can you elaborate on which year?
Yeah, I was the first GLCC guy to win the batting title, Jagan, and I have over 200 runs with 1-2-1-7 ball.
Wow, interesting.
It was when Gautam was second. I think he finished second that year.
Yeah, he didn't like that too much, did he?
It was the same year when strikers got us all out for 37 again.
Yeah. Was that 2007 or 2008?
I don't think it was the year we won the championship. It was 2006 probably. 2007 is when we won.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's quickly get into our next thing.
How about Jeet?
The same thing to Jeet. Jeet, your best.
Yeah, I never won the batting title, just so you know. Just joking. Best games. So that 2004, even though we lost, I can tell you that was probably one of the best games I've played. And by the way, I was the not out end, right? That's what I remember. But anyway, but one great moment so for whatever reason, we never won a championship till 2008. And I think actually we were a better team in 2006, 2007. But then we went through whole 2008 and 2009, losing only one game in 2 years. And also, I mean, important point, that time was when we used to have League X and League Pool X and Pool Y system. And never being defeated or only one game for 2 years when we had the Pool X thing, that was actually pretty big. But I mean, of course, when we won our first championship, that was awesome. and then winning the 3 year in a row, that was also even more special. But I think one game so a couple of, I'm trying to kind of, it's been many years, but one GLCC game strikes out pretty clearly for me. There was a Brownstown game where we ended up winning, and it was a very, very closely fought game too. And again, playing with them, as Sami said, was always a pleasure because that was the other team that will basically fight till the end. And there was a juggernaut game in 2003, I believe, and that's the game also we lost. Even though we lost, I think those games were important because it really brought us together as a team, which I think was really important for us later on, because our drive later on that actually drove us to those 4 years, and from the desperation that we actually never won till 2007. We were desperate to the end. And I think even though those were the games that really made us, like every time we got into a game, we never took it lightly, no matter how strong we were. And I think those games were very, very important to teach us as a group. And I think it was always good that our core team pretty much from 2003, 2004 stayed together till basically 2010. And I think that was something special too. And, very few teams are able to keep that momentum. But again, even though we lost, those games are very important for you as a team.
Good. Yeah. So Megabytes, one of the best teams I have ever seen in DCL. Now let's get into some fun stuff. Okay, not cricket. And let's get into your favorite movies, favorite heroes, favorite food, all that stuff. Okay, let me start with favorite food. I know. See, long ago, so long ago, we were all eating together. Then Jeet, somebody mentioned that Jeet won't like coloring the food. Okay.
Yes, I hate coloring the food.
Yeah. So, what is the reason for that one? You try to explain that to me, but it's very, very tough for me to understand your English in those days. Okay. Now
So I have to give you my background, right? So my father was a chef, and he was actually voted one of the best chefs in India. So coloring for food for me, that when you can actually do it with very natural ingredients, coloring food with something artificial, it always irked me. And I mean, I don't want to get into technical. It oxidizes food and makes it dry and all that stuff. That's different. But as a purist, I hate using colors in the food. I think you can use natural ingredients to color something. So I'm just
Okay. And you also said something about cola in those in that conversation. And do you drink cola? I mean, like Pepsi.
Not anymore, actually. I mean, there was a phase when I've not had a cola for like almost a year now. So last one I had. But
So what is your favorite?
I think I used to drink a lot of. Okay, so there was a time I didn't. Then a couple of years I did. I just don't. Again, any artificial drinks I tend not to. But so I just avoided it.
So, no favorite food?
Jagan, did you ask him what his favorite drink was or favorite food?
Favorite food.
Favorite food was, it's kind of hard to say. Of course, Indian, right? Yes, pura than, if I have to say outside Indian food, I actually like, so I'm fortunate enough that I live in Chicago now, so you get to try different cuisines. So, it's kind of to say like one cuisine, but I actually like Ethiopian cuisine a lot. It's very, very much similar to Indian food. And if you've never tried good Ethiopian food, you have to try. Especially, it's very close to Indian food. It's absolutely tasty, and actually Korean food. So,
just in case if somebody like Samish asks you to cook, what will you prefer?
So if Samish, if I have to cook for Samish,
yeah.
Okay, if I have to cook for Samish, I would definitely make him a biryani.
Okay.
like very authentic Hyderabadi biryani that I got a recipe from my father, who actually got it from. So my father worked in a hotel, so he actually got these recipes from basically people who work for Nizam and stuff. So very authentic Hyderabadi dum biryani style recipes. So I'll definitely make that for him. Um, there is actually I would actually ask Samish to cook some Kashmiri food for me. He's really good.
Okay, let's
So
get into that part now. Okay.
yeah.
What is your favorite food?
For me,
Yeah, don't tell me omelette. Okay.
hey, that was egg burji I made for you.
So
Um,
I'm going to interrupt though. So actually, so what you might not know, Jagan, Samishan and I were roommates, right? So
Yes.
we on Friday and Saturdays we will actually cook together. And we had a very small kitchen, and we used to cook together on Fridays and Saturdays when we had time. And we'll cook pretty extensive stuff, right? Samish, I mean, I know like one out of blue will make pretty significant, complicated stuff. Or like I think one day we made like 15 parathas because we just were craving parathas.
We followed that up with kheer.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember the kheer. Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. But
And,
sorry, go ahead and answer the question that Jagan asked. Sorry.
yeah, Jagan, I love my Indian food. I love Kashmiri food. A lot of goat in that, chicken. I also love biryani, and one of the biryanis I always remember is after our games. Sometimes we used to go to Vijay Namburi's house, and his house they would make a biryani for pretty much the whole team. That was some of the best biryanis I remember. And now that Jeet has said something good about me, I have to say something good about him. Um, I have never tasted the chana dal like the one that Jeet makes. It's one of the best dals you will ever taste.
Okay.
And he cooked some biryani and other stuff too. But everything is awesome. But chana dal you have to taste. It's out of this world. And he
Because
never gives
probably
me the recipe. I have no idea why.
because I probably cooked it like 1,000 times.
Okay. Okay, we'll try. But I hope we'll be lucky to, have that one
Yeah, we'll bring him over one of these days.
one
But
day.
Indian
Yeah.
food is on top for me.
Okay.
And you know me, I eat pretty much anything.
Okay. See, my next question is about movies. I'll start with Samish. Samish, your favorite movie?
I have a lot of favorite movies. I usually like the movies that change the trend. For example, Sholay changed trend for Hindi movies, and more recently, Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge changed the trend. I love that movie. And then English, I watch A Few Good Men a lot. That's one of the movies I like. Shawshank Redemption, I like that one. Some of the movies I can watch again and again, and they still feel fresh. But there are some movies that you may like them 10 years back, but if you watch them now, you find them silly. But these movies that I named, you can watch them again and again, and they'll still feel fresh to you.
Interesting. See, if somebody asks me the same question, I'll say, for me, evergreen is always Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar. If I need some,
Yeah,
you know,
I actually like the sports movies too. Sorry, Jan.
that's it. Then let me go to Jeet. Jeet, what's your favorite movie?
Hard to pick one actually. So I have to pick like movies like if I have to pick something from very old times, like I will probably pick Pyasa from Guru Dutt's time. More when I was growing up. I like movies that are very off. As Sami said, they're kind of trendsetters or change the dynamics of the movie. I don't know if you guys remember a movie called Rock. That was Amir Khan's probably first movie. That was amazing because it was just not a very normal movie to be made. I mean, it was very different, and the acting was good, and it was very complicated in its own way because it kind of issued very social issues. But the acting was just pretty awesome. like Saransh, Anupam Kher's, again, very off movie from Normal Times. And there were a couple of other movies I can't remember right now. But again, most of my, I was a big fan of Nasruddin Shah, and that whole Shabana Azmi era. One of my other favorite movies, for Hindi movies I've seen like so many times, is Bazaar. I don't know if you remember that. It's yeah. So that's like I've probably seen that movie like 50 times. I mean, like movies like that in general, I like. In English, the one in last 4 or 5 years that really stuck my chord is actually Life of Pi. It's just the way it contains a message. It's just one of my favorite movies. I mean, again, I can probably splutter off 20 different movies that I like, but I mean, these are the ones that really strike. So.
Okay. So the next question, favorite hero, Samish, movie star.
Oh, I'll play
If
safe
Samish
with
was a
this
hero, then he would be my favorite.
one. Amitabh Bachchan for me. I'll play it safe.
Okay. Jeet.
I think I will say Farooq Sheikh, Nasruddin Shah, and Ahmed Khan.
Okay, cool.
These are probably three of my, like, one of the guys I really like. So their acting style I really like.
Okay. Samish, favorite heroine. Don't tell me everybody.
Anybody who will wink at him.
Yeah. I think I actually growing up I liked I'll stick to my era. I liked Madhuri Dixit quite a bit, which I think she was universal. Her and Sridevi were pretty much universal good actresses. But I also, as I said, I grew up in Karnataka, so I watched a lot of South Indian movies as well, and I used to like Revati and Suhasini quite a bit for their acting.
Jeet.
Man, I'm bad with names. So I'm actually trying to Google as you talk. Because I forgot the name.
मैं बताता हूँ नाम तो.
वो कौन सी थी यार, like the one who was in Guide, what's her name?
Wahida Rahman.
Wahida Rahman, yeah. So I used to like her from older times. These days I honestly get really confused who the actors are, and they all look the same to me. I don't watch that tons of movies recently, so I'm trying to think movies that I liked recently that I loved. I really can't pinpoint any new actresses because honestly I don't know enough about what's happening. There were some good movies though that came out. I saw that movie recently that came out. I think it's called Thappad. That was actually a pretty awesome movie, and the actress in there did a very, very good job. Yeah. So I mean, again, it's like not Dimple. Who was the girl in Bazaar? I'm sorry, I'm very, very bad with names.
Deepti Nawal.
Not Deepti Nawal.
No, okay,
the one who died. The one who died.
Yeah.
She was actually one of my favorite actresses too. I can't remember. She died of alcoholism, I think, right? But this was back in 90s.
Yeah, that one won't come to me mind.
Telling my age, but I'm old.
Okay. So let's quickly get into some song quiz. Okay, I'll play the music. You guys have, okay, identify the song, and after this there'll be 3 questions like who is your favorite player in Indian or Indian or international cricket, and who is your favorite player in DCL. And you, GLCC favorite player, I'm not going to ask Samish, but I'm definitely asking you, Jeet, because Samish being a captain of GLCC, I don't want to put him under any pressure. Okay. So let's quickly get into the songs quiz. Okay. The first song goes. The first song goes to Samish. Okay. This is the song.
दिल धड़काए बीच सड़क पे वो नाम मेरा पुकारे वो करके इशारे वो लड़की आंख मारे.
Fantastic. Cool.
That was a tough one, Jagan. I'm not good with newer songs.
Okay, the next one goes to Jeet.
Oh, all right, let's go. I'm going to use sound hound, by the way. I think it's like something like Dil Beqarar Hai, something. I know it starts with Dil Beqarar Hai and there's a Jackie Shroff in it. I just don't know the remaining song.
This is not Jackie Shroff.
Taal se taal mila.
Taal se taal mila, something like. Isn't that Jackie Shroff or whatever? Yes. I'm bad with lyrics, but I know it's Dil Beqarar Hai something, right?
Not exactly, but you are close.
Yeah.
Close.
Dil ye
I'll take it.
bechain re raste
Dil
pe
Hai
nain
Bechain
re.
Re. Yeah, I will pretend that I don't know the song, so he doesn't ask me to sing it. So
Right now, Samish is leading 1-0. Okay. The next song goes to Samish. Yeah, Samish.
दुनिया हसीनों का मेला.
Yeah.
So
Really?
okay, can we do this though? Like if somebody of us gets the song name, we gotta sing it. You know, can we make that a rule?
Yeah.
Jeet, did you know this song before I did?
No, I did not.
Okay.
So you gotta sing it.
Song a lot. दुनिया हसीनों का मेला, मेले में ये दिल अकेला.
ये दिल अकेला.
एक दोस्त ढूंढता हूँ मैं आशिकी के लिए. I think something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. The
Come
next
on,
one.
man, you gotta sing it.
Next one goes to Jeet. Okay. I hope you sing this song. Okay. It's a very,
Uh-oh.
very, very easy song, and I'm damn sure Samish will pick this one because he's from that era.
बूढ़ा है मेरे से भाई वो.
Oh, this is easy one.
Okay, Jeet.
I have a condition that all of the three of us have to sing it together.
Okay, you start.
All right. मेरी आवाज थोड़ी बहरी है हाँ. अगर कोई गधा घोड़ा है तो घोड़ा तो भगा देना.
कोई नहीं, तू गा ले भाई.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. आगे मुझे नहीं पता actually. So you have to take it up.
तेरा करूं दिन गिन गिन के इंतजार आजा पिया
Aja
आई
piya
बाहर.
aayi bahar.
Okay.
Jagan was right. It's my era song. You won't know
Yes. No, I know the song. I just don't know. I mean,
Okay. The
lyrics.
next one goes to Samish. It's taking its own time. Can you, Samish?
I think I know the song, but I can't think of it.
I have no clue, man.
No clue? Okay. Okay then. Zindagi Pyar Ka Geet hai.
Yeah, Zindagi Ka
Oh.
Pyar Se.
Yeah. Zindagi Pyar Ka Geet hai. So, okay. Right now, I think both are on same page. You both have same points, huh? Okay. The next one to Jeet.
All right. So if I win this one, I win it?
Let's wait. This is the song for you.
It's a Sholay song, I know that.
Okay. Jeet.
I don't know what I know it's some movie Sholay.
Okay.
अबे कैसा है यार तू?
अरे भाई गूगल करूं क्या?
I told you.
ये दोस्ती हम नहीं छोड़ेंगे.
हाँ ये हाँ.
Who also? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, who
So
wants to
do I get a point for saying it's from Sholay?
let me think about that one. You know, see, it comes to the Jeet.
anything I can get 2-1 over Samish. So. Otherwise, I will just call it fixing, by the way. So.
I think umpires made a mistake here. I got 3 right already.
Okay. ये दोस्ती हम नहीं छोड़ेंगे, right? That's the song. This one. Okay. Anybody wants to sing that song? Samish, you want to try?
Got it, Samish.
If you want your listeners to hang up, I'll sing it.
Fine.
ये दोस्ती हम नहीं छोड़ेंगे तोड़ेंगे दम मगर तेरा साथ ना छोड़ेंगे लोगों को दो मगर आते हैं हम नजर I don't know दो नजर आते हैं हम मगर एक हैं.
Okay, fantastic. The next song,
कर रहा है भाई तू.
Samish. Samish, try this one. Okay.
Easy वाला हाँ.
I hope so.
Oh my God.
Okay, Sami.
दिल दीवाना बिन सजना के माने ना ये पगला है समझाने से समझे ना.
Cool. Okay. The last song of the
That's
day.
that's what you said when you were given LBW out first.
The last song of the night goes to Jeet. Okay. This is also again Samish era. Okay, Jeet.
बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमसे सनम, something like that.
I hope you're looking at your wife right now, Jeet.
वो मेरी आवाज सुन के पहले भाग जाती है भाई, वो उसको मेरे गाने पसंद नहीं।
Good.
बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमसे सनम, मेरे को लिरिक्स नहीं याद आते भाई।
कसम चाहे ले लो खुदा की कसम.
Okay, fantastic. Both of you guys did a wonderful job with the songs. Let's get into the last segment, and let's do it quickly because we are getting very close to our time. I'll go with Indian players. Okay, Indian or any international player. Samish, who is your favorite international or Indian? Any?
For me, it has to be Sachin Tendulkar because of what year I was born.
Okay.
And it changed cricket for India as far as I know.
Sachin is 55.
Hey, I'm younger than him at least.
Okay. Okay. So only one player. Any international player?
I mean,
non-Indian.
Viv Richards, if you go back, and I also liked Ricky Ponting quite a bit.
The reality is coming out. Okay, Jeet, your favorite.
So batting India for Tendulkar, outside US, outside India, I love how Michael Bevan actually played his cricket. For bowlers, it has to be hands down Wasim Akram and Curtly Ambrose. Just for mere tenacity and skill.
Okay, cool. And so let's quickly ask. I want to ask this one. Favorite DCL player? You guys cannot take your own name. I mean your name is
own team.
Okay.
I also played with GLCC, so
yeah, you cannot take Samish name. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Other than Samish, who's your favorite DCL player?
I mean, so it is hard to pick, right? Because there's no one player that you can come up. But I can tell you what, as a bowler, the guys I love to bowl to. And again, it's not going to be one. It was definitely Ashraf in GLCC, just because he had such a compact game. At times, and most of the guys might not know, and Vijay Matta at his prime, he was very attacking. When he was, especially a couple of years, he was really good. He was very difficult to bowl to. And there were a couple of other guys too from Juggernaut. I'm not collecting them. And there was one guy from Brownstone who was very good too. Again, I'm very bad with names, guys, so you have to excuse me for that. But these are a couple of guys that I used to love to bowl to them. From being batting perspective, one of the most cunning bowlers, again from outside megabytes, was definitely Vijay Namburi. And just because he was very, very cunning in a cricketing sense. And there was this guy from Brownstown earlier. I'm bad with names, but he was a little bit, older guy. He used to have lethal Yorkers. I'm not sure if you remember Samish, whom I'm talking about. This guy was a little bit heavier aside, but he had the most devastating. Was it Rehan? No, I think he didn't play after 2006 or 2007. I know one game he basically destroyed us megabytes, but I used to hate. He used to get into these modes where he will just bowl Yorkers, and he was impossible to get away. And he used to be really, really good. And again, I'm not doing justice by forgetting his name, but I'm just,
If my guess is right, you probably are talking about Javed.
Javed, yes, Javed, yes.
Yep.
When he was in his beast mode, it was impossible to play him.
Yeah, I know his weakness. The only weakness he has, if you bowl full toss.
Yeah, it was very easy for him to get to full toss, but when he got his Yorkers right, you could not play him. And hated when he got into those modes. I mean, most of the other bowlers you can always sustain, but that kind of bowling you can't. You just can't get away from.
Hey, good. Samish, non-GLCC.
Does is Jeet non-GLCC or GLCC?
See, you cannot take Jeet's name.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think I'll give you a few names because I've played this DCL for a while. I think one of the most underrated players was Javed Iqbal that Jeet is talking about, both in terms of batting and bowling. If you gave him the new ball, he would hit that length anytime. Then I also loved Binod. I know I except for Binod, everybody knows that he's my favorite bowler in DCL right now. Also, from the newer people, I think there are two batsmen who I have seen score against us and not struggle. One was Tejas, one inning, and this semi-final, Manoj just killed us. And I think these two innings were chanceless. And in these 20 years, nobody has played a GLCC bowling like they have played. Then there are your obvious players, your Ravi Teja, your Deepak, your Pangera. They're all pretty good. And the whole 20 players in Gladiators team. I mean, sorry, I have respect for a lot of players, so I'll tell you a lot of names. And the guy interviewing with me, Jeet, I think he was the most devastating bowler of them all. I think what you have 6 hat tricks, Jeet, or more in DCL?
I had 6 or 7 hat tricks, and I missed 4 of them, by the way, by an inch.
Yeah, and one or something was against us, and I feel whichever game GLCC has lost against Megabytes, it has been either because of Binod or because of Jeet.
Yeah.
But as I said, there are a lot of great players and tremendous talent in DCL right now.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say though, like I actually always thought like getting away from Pool X concept. I don't think. I mean, personally, that was the best concept because what it forced was because everybody wanted to be in Pool X. What it basically kind of did was it put the talent, because every good talent wanted to be in Pool X. So it kind of aggregated teams into more talented teams. And that's what I think when we kind of walked away from Pool X, that team kind of got diluted a bit. Because, you know, the egos came in, people say, oh, I can just form my own team. Which, when there was a Pool X, you were kind of forced to play for a stronger team to just kind of, so you get a chance to play in that Pool X. And playing in that Pool X concept was, by the way, one of the best experiences. Because those 7-8 games were literally the best games you could have ever played.
I agree. And the last question of the night is, who's your favorite Megabytes player, Jeet?
It's hard to pick, man. I mean, we were so talented. I mean, we were so talented that people like Raghu, who I thought was actually one of the most talented bowlers, and Ranga didn't get to bowl as much. So you can imagine in our peak, Raghu didn't bowl as much. All of these guys were super talented, man. For just sheer tenacity, just for I will get anything done. And so for me, it was always important the attitude over the skill. So if in Megabytes, if I ever have to pick a guy, it actually from just that aspect will be Raghu. But again, man, everybody was talented. I mean, Ranga was a role model for what he was. Binod was awesome. Gautam was just pure talent. Then we have Praveen. Then we had the guy who, I'm sorry, bad with names.
Rohan.
He lives in Oregon. Rohan, I mean, all these guys are super talented, man. I mean, then we have Hari. It's like one guy after the other could just win you a game on its own, you know. So it's hard to pick one.
Okay. Samish, I'm not going to ask the same question. Okay. who is your favorite player in GLCC may put you in trouble. So I'm not asking you that. If you want to talk about GLCC, this is the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that I have played for GLCC from the beginning, and every player that has joined the team has been special. Every player, and there's a reason we don't. You and I know that we don't just pick anybody to play for our team. We want that attitude. We want them to want to win the game as well as want to be part of a team that we are. And every person you pick, even they are way talented compared to me or anybody else, but at the same time they have this attitude. And one thing I like about our team is that everybody is a little specialized. As a team, we each have to do our job to win. It's not one person team, or it's not all 10 people can do everything. We have specific roles, and as long as everybody sticks to those roles, we'll do well. I can't ask more. There's a reason why we can't replace players like Ajit, Pradeep, or Ashraf, and they're just too good. Just to name a few. Others we don't need to replace right now. They're still young, but I don't think we can afford to replace anybody else, even Ajit or Pradeep or anybody who's considered older.
Okay. Jeet, I'll see. We will be closing this show with the last words from both of you. I'll start with Jeet.
Last words in general. I mean, I think of all the cricket I've played, DCL was honestly one of the best cricket I've played. Just because, like Megabytes was just a family. We hung out together and we played together. We have tons of stories we still remember by. And in general, I think because the way ground conditions are and how the whole family was, especially that DCL family, it was literally one of the best cricket I've played, and I totally enjoyed and made tons of friends. Had a lot of arguments, good ones. Ended up being in friendship like Samish and many others, right? I mean, so again, I think we got to cherish leagues like DCL.
Okay, Samish.
Yeah, same thing. All I'd like to say is thank every one of my teammates and everybody in the league who has made cricket special for me in the last 20 years, or less than that a little bit. But again, as Jeet said, there isn't. I've played all kinds of cricket, but there hasn't been as much competition and as much enjoyment as I have had in DCL. It's a different level, and again, to test yourself against some of the best players in Michigan is just amazing. And what DCL does is that it brings some of these bigger players to our level, so we can compete as well. That's what I feel. Because at this age, otherwise I cannot play cricket anywhere else. Some of us can, but not me. Again, so thank you everybody. I would just like to thank my teammates and the league in general, and all the friendships I've had over the years have been amazing.
Okay, with that, we will conclude tonight's show here. Thanks for listening, and next week I'll bring Ajit Jaisinghe and Nalin Pereira onto the show. Friday, 9:15 next week. Thank you. Good night.